what are some situations you would take a Phoenix in as opposed to ones you would take like a Dragon in? Like the applications of each.
Okay.
It's just Phoenixes are quite a bit squishy sometimes, but so are Dragons. They sometimes might bring them for their, I think they cause terror, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just not tripping, yeah. For just like a chair causing unit, and you have a chance of rebirth, so I mean, that's pretty decent there.
And the way I see like Phoenixes and Dragons is that if you're worried about being shot to death by archers and you don't feel you need breath attacks that much, double Phoenix is good.
Remember that Phoenixes they're an awful lot cheaper than even a Sun Dragon. So, and they're smaller targets, and also
Yeah, it's just the armor.
Yeah, they do have and far less HP. But as you said, Ice Power, dragons might look very tough, but they're actually they can be deceptively squishy, because even Star Dragons only have 80 armor, which for a monster isn't huge.
Also, bear in mind their models are absolutely huge.
Yeah.
In fact, if we're talking about people are talking about High Elves vs Beastmen, I think High Elves vs Beastmen is a really good time to take Phoenixes, actually.
Yeah, you can bring Flamespire. Flamespire is not actually a bad pick because you can have that fire damage versus Morgar.
Yeah, they'd be very good assassins on Morgar.
Yeah, flying single entities in general are quite a big problem for Beastmen, since they're sort of guaranteed to take Morgar, and he's like an infantry lord. He's just going to get like cyclotouched to death.
And also be aware that Flamespire Phoenix is I think they're possibly the fastest unit on the High Elf roster. They have 120 speed.
I think they're the fastest unit in the game.
I think Eagles are pretty quick, right? Aren't they?
No, Great Eagles have only 110
wow.
speed.
I always thought
Flamespires are the fastest.
Flamespires are fast, man.
Yep, really fast.
Yeah, you could take Phoenixes versus Empire actually, because one, most of their missiles are going to be AP, so they're losing effectiveness by firing at like an unarmored monster. Like, you're not paying for the armor for no point. They're smaller to hit, and also they can outrun Franz, so it means that you're not sort of going to be isolated and killed off. Yeah, just an idea. Again, I'm not much of a high elf player, but I'd probably prefer double Phoenix over Dragon in that matchup. Yeah.
And don't forget, of course, the Wake of Fire ability where they drop bombs on things. So, and against low armored Empire state troops, that's going to hurt them badly.
Yeah, for sure. I've got a question. When's the right time to take war lions?
Okay, so war lions are actually I like them as vampire coast. I like bringing them sometimes if like you have a forest kind of map. They actually do really good at dealing with hounds and whatnot. Like they tear apart hounds. They will literally massacre them in 5 seconds tops. And they're actually good versus faction. Counts is a decent matchup for them. They can deal with their infantry pretty well. Their chaff as well. I remember bringing them versus Norska as kind of like a fun type thing, and they just kind of ran after the skirmish cav and killed them and killed the hounds. But that was just kind of like a fun example of kind of like they can do quite a bit. I like the ROR though. The ROR with their debuff is it's nice because if you're able to land that -8 leadership and -25% speed, you're in a good position. Because if you land that on skirmish cav, you're able to swarm in and kill it. Yeah, it's gonna you're gonna be in a good place. Oh yeah, they're actually really good versus High Elf Mirror. High Elf Mirror is actually a really good matchup for them. If you ever like run into that, where like a person's just like, okay, I'm gonna mirror you now, and you're like, okay, well, White Lions, you just bring a shit ton of them, and they will literally clamp every cav unit. If you bring like let's say 1 or 2 Dragon Princes to support them, they're gonna be really nasty. And I've actually played that matchup quite a bit, and I got destroyed by them. They're actually really deadly at killing a lot of cav. And I've used it versus Empire to kill Reichsguard, to use Illyrian Reaver and White Lion combo, and do a pretty good job of that. Empire Knights they can handle pretty quickly, and I think that's kind of They're decent. They're just like a little risky sometimes.
Seems to me that they must also have a nice niche against dwarves, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
Or- okay.
You can actually bring a white lion theme build, and it'll beat dwarves.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it's an even easy matchup, but gotta mix it
Yeah.
up a bit.
I feel like I shouldn't have this much trouble against Skaven, but I do. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's yeah. I have the same trouble with that. It's pretty hard. But there's kind of ways. Rangers, of course, are kind of like an auto pick there, but you kind of have to play it somewhat. It's hard, but you have to go kind of like a cav focus build. I like bringing like some Illyrian Reaver archers there and some silver helms. They're actually pretty good there. I bring, of course, Alariel and Noble. Nobles are really good at kind of getting in the back line. If you're able to get in the back line and they have Rat Ogres, it's not going to be the best thing for you whatsoever. Because Rat Ogres will just trap you in and beat you alive.
Right. Yeah.
So
that's
you
what
have to watch
that's
out
what I've
there.
had happen to me a couple times usually when I
Yeah.
try to bring nobles.
But yeah, you have to try to get all your cav in. You have to cycle charge the front line quite a bit. So it's actually going to be a shit ton of micro you have to do. Skaven are going to bring mortars definitely most of the time, and they'll kind of just shoot your infantry apart. So shutting them down is very key. And they're going to apply that effect. I forgot what the effect is because I don't have the DLC, but yeah, they do a crap ton of damage, and you're not going to enjoy it whatsoever. And that's why I might start avoiding that matchup a little bit, but you have to get like really good with the cav micro, and you have to be on point, and you're gonna have to commit your archers to melee and try and cycle charge, open up holes, and then go in with the nobles, shut stuff down, and hopefully your rangers are able to cut through and beat down his Skaven slaves, clan rats, all that good stuff. So you kind of have to rely on a lot of stuff to win it. But yeah, it's definitely a little bit harder for high elves.
Versus which faction?
I think it's Vampire Coast you're going with, Deadly Bunnies, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Vampire Coast. That'll be. I think this is a very core matchup because first pick Vampire Coast, double ban dwarves and Empire is very 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 common, and so the next best counter is High Elves.
I don't know what to bring for like Nocturus, because I brought Drowned Dead and Invocation in the Heck and his item. I don't know if you need anything else.
That's a good set of abilities, yeah. So you want Drowned Dead, Invocation, of course. You always want Noctilus's item. It's completely overpowered.
Yeah, the 2 deckhand summon mobs. It's really,
Yeah.
it's really cool.
It's ridiculous. And also, it's very long range, which is very good versus sort of archer factions.
Yeah, 150.
You summon it past the front line and then send them to go annoy archers for a bit.
So yeah, should I bring him on foot or take him on the Colossus?
See, that's the question.
Here you can actually bring crabs, big crabs, big crabs.
So meta for High Elves here is Archer and Alariel Double Noble, or Elithanar or Princess. Artillery sniping lords.
Because I brought I think my build was essentially 5 handgun mobs, and then pole arms and deckhands with some bombers and something.
Mm-hmm.
You need mortars.
Okay, if you're both ready, should we start the battle? Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Lock.
Yeah, I am ready.
Okay.
Right. Fire away. I watch from atop the giant golden dildo.
What?
That was my joke originally, man. Me and Falcon came up with it in a clan war. We were just it's just a massive giant dildo.
Painful that would be.
Surprised it doesn't have a skull on top.
Well, in that game, Grimgor.
Not in the world of Slanesh.
This is not.
Is that you? Is that you, Stroppy?
Sad.
Who joins us?
Here, man, he's not here.
And that's why they banned Slanesh.
So right now, Deadly Bunnies, you should be advancing towards the High Elves because you need to pressure them because they have anti-artillery. So
So,
you
like-
need to like
Okay. I
you
don't
need to
play
at least
defensive
have your
factions
front
often.
line and handguns sort of moving forward.
Yeah, I don't play defensive factions often, so I end up becoming like, oh shit, too defensive with them.
You're losing mortar pieces. Yeah. So now shoot the cav as well.
Yeah, I saw that.
You need to punish them for coming close. Yeah. So you now they're half HP, man. Like
Although the gun crabs are going to do a good job against them.
yeah.
They're living.
Pew. Can you move the golden dildo camera a bit so we can see what's going on?
Yeah.
We need to see that vampire coast back line.
Yeah. So, oh boy. Yep. This is.
Yeah. So now you need to shoot the other cav unit.
Yeah.
One mortar's lost a couple of assets. One mortar's lost all its assets just now.
Yeah, that hurts.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Bolt
bolt throwers are on point.
throws are a big problem here.
Defending the back line. I have no back line at this point. Charge.
You'll have to use the guns to protect each other.
Make sure those bombers are in guard mode as well, by the way.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's very important.
Oh shit.
So now you need to start shooting that cav unit.
Yeah, the one that just came
Please
from.
bring the
Shoot
lamp
your
into
lord
that.
in the way, the cav. Oh god.
That's not
Why?
1 second. Screw you, elephant up.
No, okay. And make sure you tell your bombers to continue throwing bombs at the right targets, just so they don't get interrupted, because sometimes they do.
Yeah, the zombie. I've just realised that the zombie pirate gunnery mobs. They're basically very similar functionally to miners, dwarf miners with multiple uses of blasting charges.
Yeah,
I'd say
Yeah,
they're
but they're a
better
lot
because
weaker.
they're cheap.
they're a
They're
lot better,
And,
and they're unbreakable. That's the
Yeah.
main.
The fact they're unbreakable is so good.
and they have more ammunition, don't they, I think?
And more HP, loose
Yeah.
formation. Like
And they cost 25 less.
now, those white lions might be a problem. You will need to shoot them with your handguns. That's your best bet. The other thing is you need to get Noctilus forward so he can use his item to summon something on top of probably the archers and Orthanar. And also, Noctilus can sit in melee with the white lions and do some good damage, as long as he has support. Yeah, so your mortars are out of the fight now. So
Yeah,
that's
my
fine.
mortars were basically kind of useless when he brought the bloody Reaper bolt throwers.
Well, outside of this map, you'd probably bring cannons as well.
Yeah.
And
Just not-
doggos.
Shit.
Okay.
Yeah, but dogs aren't really hard to enter.
That is an exceptionally long range on that summon.
Yeah, no.
Did someone say they were heading off?
Hmm?
Did
Yes,
someone
you need to shoot those rangers, man, and get your Lamprey's Revenge on them.
Yeah, the Lamprey's Revenge of a little bit.
Also, make sure you heck the crabs, because they're the best heck target.
And they're healing.
The other thing is he's focusing Noctilus with the archers, so if you can try and get some dodges in, that would be great.
Yeah, it's all too much.
The other macro is more important, but if you've got nothing to do, dodge.
Oh, I bought the replace ammo thing. It's kind of worthless now.
Now you can fire on the white lions going towards your gun line, and then send the other crabs back to save your gunnery white, because he's being chunked by the white lions as well.
I've got
I'm gonna chop his legs out.
Yeah. You see, the thing is, you don't want your monstrous infantry on the unit that you're shooting, because the crabs will take damage from your own guns, because
they will.
zombie guns are very
friendly fire, yeah.
inaccurate.
Friendly fire.
Yeah. And also they may get obstructed if the obstruction's like significant enough. See, this is why Lamprey's Revenge are quite good here. Because they can sort of pop between different combats and apply that charge bonus. which is actually fairly good. Yeah, so just the tip on using pistol summons is you can actually tell them to melee enemy archers. And they will fire whilst they're on the way to
Oh,
melee.
yeah, they do, don't they? They fire while they move.
Yeah.
From
So
the front, at least.
I don't
Yeah.
play them much in campaign, so I don't know what this.
okay, so you need to bring your crabs back, otherwise they're going to get isolated by that noble.
Yeah. Although a zombie
That
dragon.
noble will kill the models, which you don't want because they have regeneration.
Down goes one crab.
Yeah, so now you need to shoot the noble. Probably get Noctilus on him as well if you can.
Yeah.
Make sure you get your pistol summon to go attack the archers and not the hero squad.
Oh. Whoops.
Yeah.
Oh man, my crabs are getting fucked hard.
Yeah, but you're screwing his noble over. So keep on shooting the noble.
Yeah, he's broken.
Kill.
So, and you don't queue them right now. So I would consider moving them away from the enemy archers.
Wait, what? Away from the enemy archers?
Your crabs.
Oh, okay.
Just let them regen. Like they'll soak up more damage, and it means you don't have to burn another Nehek on them. Probably want Nehek on your gunnery white actually.
Oh,
Never thought I'd say that before.
He's a bit low.
Yeah, so this is a great example of handgun mobs completely carrying just because of how broken they are.
They are broken.
Yeah, that's for sure. Because he's out of ammo. He can't kill Noctilus.
All of that damage on the Lithanar has been solely by Wraith Storms.
Yeah, see,
Fucking overpowered ability.
I would have actually used the Wraith Storms on probably archers near the start of the game. Because they would have actually killed models, and then you would have reduced the effectiveness of the archers for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
GG, man. GG.
That's the route.
Hey, I won.
There's the route. Whew, well, that was
The mortars just
that was a
got
gun.
wrecked at the beginning.
Mortars got ruined. Yeah.
They barely did anything.
So hang on, but it's worth noting. Mortars cost 3 of those mortars costed 1,800, right?
Yeah.
Plus chevrons. The bolt throwers costed 1,400, and he had a Lithanar firing at your mortars with his abilities and his regular attacks for the first, 2 minutes of the game.
It's nearly double the cost. It is double the cost, I think.
Yeah, I would argue that the mortars, funnily enough, did their job there. Because they also did good HP damage to archers.
I didn't hit a single archer.
Hmm.
They were on. They didn't hit a single archer.
Oh, they didn't fire on archers?
They didn't fire on archers.
Was it just rangers then?
No, I fired on the roof of bolt throwers like an idiot.
See, that can work, but
Like I thought, okay, I may be able to win the artillery duel here, and then I saw the cab come, and at that point it was a bit too late.
well, that's the other thing the mortars did. They actually forced the enemy cav in because they sort of had to kill them, and you destroyed what 3 units of cav just by shooting them with your
2 at the
handguns?
back, in the back, and
Was
then
it 2?
one came down the side.
So if we add the value into that, the mortars more than paid for themselves.
I guess
It's more complicated than them just getting kills. If you
Yeah.
understand what I mean.
I'm too used to campaign.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh, you only got 18 kills. Useless. But yeah.
But GG man, well played.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's worth putting the ranks on the mortars.
So
GG.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe hang back a bit with the Reavers because they just all got shot off or chased off early in
Yeah.
the fight. Maybe this is just an idea. I don't know what IcePower would say about this, but maybe if you'd hung back with the Reavers until the mortars were destroyed by Alathanar and Co. And the bolt throwers, and then when Deadly Bunnies was forced to move his forces up, you could have then, when he needed the handgunners and the bombers and everything in the front lines, then that might have been a good opportunity to pull in the Reavers.
I agree. I think that was probably the misplay, sacrificing your cav on the altar of the OP handguns. Yeah, so you won the artillery fight, and you were going to win that without your cav. It seems to me that there was no reason to throw them in. I would have just pulled them back and kept them as a sort of, okay, I'm going to charge these guys through the front, get on the bombers. The other thing is that if you're bringing White Lions and Rangers, and this is quite an important point, actually. White Lions have missile resistance and armor, which makes them a very strong counter to bombers. Now, bombers generally will be left on fire at will and will fire on whatever comes first. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
White Lions should have been first, and then the Rangers.
Okay.
I think the other thing is that you've got to worry about doggos here, and I think you had full Vanguard with your cav. I think so. I can't quite remember.
There was one Reaver unit of Reavers that was deployed with the rest, I think.
Yeah, one isn't enough, because if he has two dogs, one of them can sort of flirt with the Reavers and force you to chase him. The point is, you can't defend an entire arch line with one cav unit. So I would have one sneaky Vanguard and then two with your arch line. The other thing, I think, is that if you're going to commit to bolt throwers, I would certainly probably take 3.
Oh, okay.
Because you want to kill that artillery line as quick as possible. The other thing is that there's nearly always a very good target for bolt throwers, even after the artillery's gone. Because Coast needs mortars here to kill archers. Then they'll probably, they might have a crab, they might have Noctilus on his peg leg, they might have Lamprey's Revenge, like what's his name just brought. There's always good targets for bolt throwers here. So if you're going to take them, I would take 3.
I thought about Alifanar, and he's working like a third bolt thrower.
Yeah, that's another point. I guess Alethanar does sort of count as a third bolt thrower, so yeah, good point. Yeah.
Should I bring Alifanar or just stay with Larry?
Alethanar's good, for sure. My question with that build is why the metal caster?
For minus armor?
Yeah, with only 3 archers, it seems... Because High Elves can bring like 8, 9, 10 archer units here. With Lords and Sea Guards, of course. I think if you had that kind of build, then yeah, I'd definitely take Plague of Rust. But with the build you brought, I don't know, would I bring a Fire or a Life Caster maybe? Just to heal the Noble or like spam Fireball. The map, of course, didn't really allow for Fireball, but just general ideas, If you're going to take metal, Lore of Metal, I'd commit to it and take a lot of archers, is what I'm trying to say. If you want a High Elves versus Beastmen build, I think this sort of thing is quite good. Alariel Star Dragon, and then some sort of strong infantry that can chill and...
Again, Star Dragon.
Star Dragon's very good.
Yeah, but I don't really know how to should I use it. I heard I should cycle charging with him.
Yeah, so you want to like sort of move between breath attacks, cycle charging.
Yeah, but most of the time when I come into melee with my dragon, I'm not able to move out and fly again.
You need to get in good combat near your own infantry and with your own Silverhelms. So if Dragon goes down somewhere, Silverhelms go with him.
Okay,
at least,
in this way.
One unit. And then you pull back through your own Silverhelms.
Okay, so Silverhelms and Larry should protect him.
Yes. So the thing about this build is it's very, very difficult for beastmen to really use their mobility to get a good engagement. It's like nothing in this build is really going to be shut down very effectively. So like even the Lorthan Sea Guard, if Centaurs jump on them or pigs jump on them, like they can sort of defend themselves. And so that allows you to go heavy in the air. The main thing you have to worry about with this build is not dying to Ungor Raiders. Now people really underestimate how important chaff/spear support is in this game for a mobility fight. If you fight on spears, cold ones become a good unit. which is saying a lot because they're absolute trash.
Yeah,
Something quality, Jesus Christ.
I just like bring cold one with Morathi.
Yeah, so it's very important to try and remember to fight on chaff support. That's one of the reasons Bretonia is becoming very popular these days, is because they always have chaff support.
It's more of a Lord-related question. I was interested in, does Eltharion have like a special niche or use? Because he seems to have a fairly unpopular lore, and his items are special.
Eltharion's a weird one. He's the general criticism of him is that he's basically overpriced for what he offers, and they're not entirely wrong. The thing is, he's a Lore of High Magic caster who can ride a griffin and who has I don't know quite what his items do actually. Do you know what they do, Ice Power?
He's got an unbreakable item, I think, like Crown of Command, basically. I think you could probably find some super high micro niche for him, but in general, I would say avoid in competitive play.
I've run into High Elves quite a bit in the Fresh Recruit sessions that I've done. No, my son Herbert Walker's Fresh Recruit tournaments. And this was something I specifically built to counter High Elves.
So as an anti-dragon play, look,
yeah.
In my opinion, the best anti-dragon play that you can have against High Elves is, and quite frankly always will be, Chameleon Skinks.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those.
Chameleon Skinks are probably the most cost-effective foot skirmisher in the game. High Elves do better than most factions in catching them, but with good screening, you're going to be okay.
I propose an alliance if you guys want it.
Against Norska.
Yeah, sure.
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 Can I have a word in that?